Midjourney version 5.2 is here and brings a few pretty cool new things, so let's jump right into it. Version 5.2 is, by the way, the new standard now, so if you look into settings, you can see that it's pre-selected. Here you can also still choose the raw mode, and when we look further down here, you can also see another thing that's pre-selected, which is the high variation mode. And that means when you now want to make variations of your pictures, you actually get something that looks different. And I have been waiting for a long time for this. I'll show you in just a moment. You can also select the low variation mode, and this is basically how it has been before. Just subtle variations that don't look very much different at all. So let me show you real quick what the high variation mode looks like before we get into the coolest new feature. When we have our picture now right here, you just click on variations, let's say V4, just like it has always been. And here we have the new variations. And this is pretty cool because they actually look different now. If we see the original here again, and now the variations, there's actually a huge difference in positioning and composition and all these things. So yeah, I'm really happy about this new feature. Let's look at our upscaled picture now, and as you can see down here there are a few new options. The first things you can see is very strong, which basically gives you the variations that we just had before. Then you can also choose very subtle, which basically is a variation mode like it has been before. And then here below that you can see zoom out 2 times, zoom out 1.5 times and custom zoom. And this feature is absolutely amazing. So let's test it, and when you click on custom zoom, you can also change the aspect ratio. So let's change that to 16:9. And the zoom always needs to be between 1 and 2. So let's leave it at 2. And here are our new zoomed out pictures with the new aspect ratio. Isn't that just amazing? Okay, there's a little bit of funky stuff going on there with the white line. Usually that doesn't happen, but hey, it's still AI, so sometimes it's still a bit funky. I am just in love with this new feature. What you can do now is you can upscale one of these and then you can zoom it out again. So let's do that. Alright, we just click on zoom out 2 times. And another thing that you can do is when you have a different aspect ratio than a square, than 1:1, you can just click on make square. And it will not zoom here or anything, it will just take your picture that you have and make it into a square. So let's do that as well. Here's our new zoomed out picture and you can barely see our character anymore. Let's just upscale it and zoom it out one more time. And when it comes to the square, you can see it here. It's probably pretty good for Instagram or something, but yeah, you can make everything you want into a square now. Alright, and in our next zoomed out version, Midjourney added a new character. And I especially love pictures 3 and 4. It looks like they are just guardians who are standing there on this track. I really love that. And play around with it, like the zoom feature is just amazing. And you can get pretty cool pictures, sometimes very funny and funky stuff. It's just a great feature to play around with. Alright, now let's look at shorten. And this is an amazing feature as well. First, let's jump into the community feed and let's search for a long prompt. Let's see. Let's look at this one. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the longest prompt, but it's okay for our purposes here. So let's copy that. And we come back to Midjourney. And now we just type /shorten and paste our prompt. Of course, you can just put your own prompt in there. And what Midjourney does now is show you what parts of a prompt it will actually use and what parts it will just ignore, and will give you 5 different new prompts that are shortened and get the picture that you want. Now here you can see the words that are bold, which have more weight, and the words that are crossed out, which Midjourney will just ignore. And this is just amazing because it shows us deeper on how this program actually works and weights things. So this is just a fantastic feature in my opinion. And even better, when you click down here on show details, you'll see the exact weights and details. Now here in this small table you'll see what it weights the most, and then up there you see the percentages roughly. And you can see like here 0%, all the words it basically just completely ignores. I think it's absolutely fascinating to look behind how Midjourney actually works, and also proves something that I've been saying for a long time now: make shorter prompts. Long prompts will just get ignored mostly by Midjourney. Make shorter prompts. Midjourney is good enough to make amazing pieces of art and pictures with short prompts, as you can see right here. So let's actually test all the 5 new prompts that Midjourney created, and let's see what they look like. Okay, and here they are. And they all look pretty damn good. Well, except the orange one. This prompt was, well, really too short. But the other ones look very, very nice. Lastly, with version 5.2, they also adjusted the stylize feature. I am not sure about that. I barely use that at all. But here you can see the differences between a stylized value of 100, 500 and 1000. And I personally think 500 looks the best, in this example at least. Play around with it and see how it works for you. And while these new commands are pretty amazing and you can do a lot with them, Midjourney has quite a few more commands that you can use. To have a deep dive on the 10 most important Midjourney commands, check out the video right over here.